What a turn of events for the stock market today, guys. If you caught my video from earlier, which if you didn't catch my video, make sure you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell. You saw how all of the indexes for the most part were green, and based on today's close, we ended up going red on all of the indexes. So in this video, you guys know the deal. We're going to break down the market, stocks, charts. We're going to talk a little bit about crypto, but before we do, get your 10 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit. Each of those stocks could be valued all the way up to $2,500. That's linked down below. And you could also get 6 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. Guess what? That's also linked down below. And if you guys do want to check out my Patreon for all my moves, morning videos, call outs, all that good stuff, guess what? That's also linked down below. Enough with the plugs, guys. With that being said, cheers. Let's dive into the video. So we were red all across the board. The Dow closed down 0.6%, Russell down 0.2%, NASDAQ went down 1%, as we had the S&P 500 go down pretty much 1% as well. The VIX went up 4.3 on the day, and we had gold down yet again 0.4%, silver down 1.4% on the day. So it was, I don't want to say it was a complete bloodbath today, but we definitely saw some pain, especially later in the day. We'll take a look at that here in a second, as we are anticipating the June CPI data coming out tomorrow morning on the East Coast, 8:30 on the East Coast, which is it's going to be huge, guys, because what this number will tell us will really give us kind of an indication of what the Fed could be doing next. If inflation comes in hotter than expected, expect a more aggressive Fed, 0.75, maybe even a 1% interest rate hike. And let's say inflation is not that bad. It's the opposite, right? So we're going to see in the morning what ends up going down with, the CPI data. At this point, that's what everything is relying on, or not relying on, but waiting on. That's the word right there, waiting on. So you guys can see on the 20-day chart here on SPY, we're still clearly in that wedge that I called out earlier. But earlier in the day, we talked about how we were bouncing off the wedge. Well, now we ended up collapsing back to the bottom of the wedge, and we're holding on for dear life. As you guys can see, SPY's right around 380, which is under the pre-market low for the day, which was right around 381. And if we do break under this trend line here at 380 and we start going down to 375, 370, maybe under that, that would be a break of trend for SPY, which, come on, guys, let's be honest, that would not be good at all for the bulls. And you can see how aggressive this selling started to come in at about 2 p.m., 2:15 p.m. on the East Coast. We saw a dump from 384 down to about 378. So SPY lost 1.2%. Then we did get a little bit of a relief rally heading into close, but overall, I mean, it was a bloodbath in the last hour and a half, 2 hours of the session today. And for Triple Q, let's pull that up. Triple Q, same thing. We were, doing pretty well in the morning. We shot up to 294, but then around 1:30, 2 p.m. on the East Coast, we saw a dump from 288, 289 to about 284. This thing lost about 1.3, 1.4% in the span of about 45 minutes to an hour. And then, like SPY, we got a bit of a relief rally, a little V-shaped recovery heading into the close. And on the 20-day chart on Triple Q here, this is also at the bottom of the wedge, testing a critical level of support right now based on this trend line. So if Triple Q breaks under 285, 280, especially 275, guys, that's going to be very bad for the bulls. At that point, we're probably going to be getting more downside. So let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comments on the overall markets. And with that being said, guys, let's dive over here to Webull and see what's going on in the crypto market. So right now, BTC is down 2.5%. And I believe last time we covered it earlier in the day, it was right around 19,800, 900. Now Bitcoin is at 19,400. So we clearly got the selling pressure under 20,000, and what did I say? Under 20,000, selling will most likely accelerate. Now we're at 19.4. Do not be surprised if inflation is hot tomorrow, BTC's under 19. I'm telling you, I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure. All I'm saying is do not be surprised if that ended up happening. And 19,000, 18.8, 18.5, that's a big support from the end of June early July. We're talking the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th of July. That's where we held before we ran up recently on the 7th to about 22,400. So I'm telling you, BTC breaks 19. It's it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly, and that is the direction that we're heading in right now as I'm filming this video, guys. And when it comes to Ethereum, same thing. We got double topped at about 1275, 1300. Now we're falling to about 1040. We're at support roughly from the end of June, early July at about 995, 1000, 1015. If that point breaks on Ethereum, watch out below, guys. We're probably going to be going 900, 950 after that. So these charts do not look good for the bulls out there, and Ethereum's down 4.6% as I'm filming this, down way more than what Bitcoin's down. So it's not looking good, guys. We're getting red in the stock market now. That is, the crypto market. It's bleeding into the crypto market. Actually, crypto. Which started selling off first? It doesn't matter, right? They're both selling off at this point, and it's not looking good heading into that Fed CPI, or not the Fed meeting, the CPI data that's coming out tomorrow morning. So what do you guys think? Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're finding value in this video, it would really help me out if you smash that like button. Just smash that like button, it helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to also get your 6 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. That's linked down below, and 10 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit. So let's talk about some stocks now that we're back in the ThinkOrSwim platform, which, by the way, I don't get many questions about it, but for those of you that didn't know, and no, this is not a sponsored post, but you can clearly see I use this platform all the time. It is ThinkOrSwim. I've been using this for over 5 years. I can't even remember when I started using it. That's how long I've been using it. It's a great charting software, and it's provided by TD Ameritrade. And I actually don't use TD Ameritrade to invest. I like Fidelity. I use Fidelity. I've been with them for years, but I just hate Fidelity's charting software. I'll be honest with you guys here. I'm not going to BS you guys. I don't like Fidelity's charting software, but I love their, the brokerage itself, the app, the customer service. Phenomenal. But for TD, I hate the brokerage. I hate the platform, but I love the charting software. So you got to find out what you like, what works for you. And for me, that's what works for me. Fidelity and using TD's charting software, which again is called ThinkOrSwim, and it's free to download. You have to have, actually no, it used to be free, but now I think you have to have some sort of balance, a minimum balance, which I think is $50, $100, whatever it ends up being. You have to have that so they don't shut down your account. But if you open up a TD account, throw in some money, it might even be less than 50. You can download ThinkOrSwim and use it indefinitely. So let's go over some stocks that moved today. We had airlines, we had Boeing, we had Microsoft. So let's just dive into it, guys. And again, smash that like button if you are finding value. So airlines, they did well today. We had Delta go up a whopping 6.15%. And I do believe Delta reports tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow morning. So keep your eyes on Delta. This is going to be very interesting, guys. Up 6% on the day. And I'm mumbling my words, guys. I'm not exactly sure what the catalyst was exactly. Let's see here. Or rather, I forget what it was. I saw Boeing's catalyst. We'll talk about that in a second. But it looks like Susquehanna maintains positive on Delta Airlines. Shares of airline companies are trading higher in sympathy with American Airlines after the company announced it expects Q2 sales, to increase 12% from pre-pandemic levels. So it looks like AAL is what sparked it. AAL, which ended up going up about, 10% on the day. And look at that, guys. AAL is testing the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart. If that point breaks at about $14.75, $15, watch out above, especially if Delta reports strong numbers, which would then bleed into the other airlines. Hey, that could be a big mover above 15. So for now, I'm going to keep, or not even keep it because I don't have it. I'm going to set my alert at $15. Mark is at or above, and we're going to see what it does from there. American Airlines reports earnings, not this week, but next week on the 21st, which is what? That is on next Wednesday or next Thursday, something like that, right? So coming up, we have AAL again tomorrow. We have DAL. LUV also moved up today. Pretty much all these guys ended up moving up today. We had LUV up 4.6%. That is Southwest Airlines, if you guys didn't know. And UAL, which is United Airlines, they ended up going up 8%. So big move in these airlines. And we all know, trust me, guys, I was just traveling, from Miami to Newark, New Jersey. There's a lot of people out traveling, and a lot of these flights are getting overbooked. I mean, literally, the flight that I was just on, Spirit, I mean, hate it or love it, whatever. Spirit is what I flew on. They were canceling flights in Miami. When I was waiting to come back to Jersey, I was in Miami. They delayed the Houston flight, New Orleans. They had to wait. So, I mean, there's a lot of craziness going on, a lot of demand, and, there's a lot of cancellations, moving around, this, that, the third. So, these airlines, these earnings, we got to keep an eye on them, pay attention to them. And I think there's a merger going on right now. Spirit's actually potentially, I'm not sure if it's 100%. They're merging with, what was it again? I forget. Frontier. Yeah, I flew Frontier as well before. They're not as good. I think Frontier is probably the worst. I mean, it's a budget airline. What do you guys expect at the end of the day? I mean, I flew last summer Frontier from Jersey, or it might have been Philly, to Vegas, and I'm telling you guys, these seats are literally a slab of metal with leather on top. And my back after that flight, I don't even want to talk about it. And it wasn't even that long of a flight, mind you. I've been to Greece many times, and that flight is 10, 11 hours. A 4-hour flight's not bad, but after that flight from Frontier, I mean, we're not going to get into that in this video. But yeah, let's just say it was not good. So the next stock is Boeing, which completely erupted today. Boeing went up 7.4% on the day, and they reported that their first half deliveries totaled about 216 jets, and they delivered 51 airplanes in June, which is the highest monthly level since March of 2019. So finally, we're starting to get some good news for Boeing. If you guys didn't know, this stock, which is currently $150 a share, this stock was what, $500 a couple of years ago before the pandemic? Look at this. Maybe not 500. I might be exaggerating on that. Yeah, 450, pretty dang close. $450. There's been a lot going on with Boeing. We're not going to get into that in this video, but it got destroyed from 450 down to about 100. It rallied back to about 280. That was about a year and a half ago, and now it's chilling at about $150. And it seems like it is holding the lows from about almost 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago. So what are we seeing here? Are we potentially getting a double bottom on Boeing? I mean, that's possible. It's kind of too early to tell because, okay, maybe we do have a double bottom, but what is too early to tell is whether or not it's a double bottom before it collapses through the bottom or before it breaks out. So we have to wait and see. At this point, it's a double bottom, but we're not really getting a breakout or a dump off quite yet. So we have to wait for direction here on Boeing. And on the 4-hour chart, we could start. We kind of are seeing some signs that it's starting to move to the upside, but we're not completely breaking out yet. Although we are slightly above the moving averages and we are at a multi-week high. I mean, we're still clearly in a technical downtrend. So for Boeing to start reversing based on my standards, it's got to start moving past at least $165, $75, and preferably above $200. At that point, I'd be like, okay, we're starting to see a respectable reversal. So the next one here is Google, the stock split is coming up in a couple of days here, guys. We ended up selling off 1.5% on Google, and I'm going to continue bringing the stock up and covering it most likely every day until the stock split, because what we have right here is a clear triple top. Look at this. Triple top, 1, 2, and then we have 3. So we have that, and that's been resistance since the beginning of June, late May. So we're talking about a month and a half, but we're also seeing an ascending triangle as well. So what direction is Google going to pick, guys? That's the million-dollar question. And you guys know I am not all in Google. I was about to say all in Google, but it's my biggest individual stock holding. So, I mean, whatever that means to you guys. To me, that means when I hear somebody's biggest individual stock holding, I'm like, okay, that person has conviction in that stock. That's the biggest one for me. Google, ticker symbol GOG. So I'm pumped about the split. I made a little video about that last night. Go watch it. Google stock split. Why I'm pumped, I think is what it's called. Go check that out. We had Microsoft today. We got some bad news from Microsoft. Well, maybe not bad news. You got to take these analyst expectations or price cuts, raises with a grain of salt. But today, Morgan Stanley lowered their price target on the company to $354, and mind you, they're at $250 right now, from $372. So they originally had them at $372, bumped them down to $354, and the firm, Morgan Stanley, also said that the stock is not immune to macro risks. So the stock ended up falling 4.1% roughly, whatever it ended up being. And that's a pretty big drop for a stock the size of Microsoft. I mean, we're talking billions, hundreds of billions of dollars here of market cap. 4%, that is a big drop. So keep your eyes on this. If Microsoft takes that 240 low out, we might have to look at it as a trade. We might have to look at it as some sort of, potential bounce back, relief rally play, whatever you want to call it. 10 cents, another one that I mentioned a couple of videos ago. I see a clear cut, uptrend here, although we are slightly under the moving averages. We are still holding the uptrending channel, and we also have a bullish divergence. Do we not, guys? We have the RSI on the 4-hour chart here that's been moving up, uptrending for the past couple of months, but in the past couple of months as well, we've, in terms of the price action of the stock, we've been making lower highs. Or maybe not lower highs exactly, but we've struggled to break out of 52. So I see personally a bullish divergence here. Let me know what you guys see down below in the comments. And I do believe we could be breaking out of here, not relatively soon, but over the next couple of weeks, months, we could start maybe not breaking out of here, but, showing some buying pressure at about 45. If this starts breaking past that, there could be a big reversal coming up on 10 cent. And the last one that I'm looking at, which has pulled back a little bit, and if you guys stuck till the end, let me know your thoughts, and let me know that you stuck till the end down below in the comments. You guys can see Enphase had an 8% red day today. Awful day for Enphase stock, ticker symbol ENPH. And what we notice here is we didn't break yet out of the 220 resistance, which has been resistance since the beginning of April. We didn't break out of there and thus see the ascending triangle play out yet. Keyword is yet, guys. But it pulled back. It pulled back to the bottom of the trend line here. It's going to test a higher low yet again at about 185, 190 bucks. And if we do get buyers in stepping in here, which I do believe, I suspect that will happen, 195, 200 plus could be right around the corner, and just like that, in the snap of a finger, before you know it, potentially this could be back to 220 bucks, testing that resistance, and maybe the ascending triangle from there does end up playing out. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap the video up. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, check out my Patreon if you want all my moves in the markets. That's linked down below. You get all my buy, sells, call outs, morning videos, exclusive content, more access to me. Go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon to join. And do not forget to get your 10 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit and your 6 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All of those stocks are linked down below. And with that being said, cheers, guys. I will catch you in the next video. Get ready for tomorrow morning. It's going to be wild. I'll see you later. Peace out.